So this week we read Hallowpeen, a Halloween sentient object romance by Holly Wilde. Three women, one occult ritual, and an urban legend come true are waiting for you to discover just how delicious Halloween can be. Everyone in the small town of Hollow Springs knows that Halloween night is when the veil of sentience is at its thinnest, so no one would attempt a ridiculous ritual on the night of a full moon, right? Wrong. The sentient object romance follows two friends who tempt fate deliciously and end up having a legendary time with the local urban legends. Curl up with some candy and a pumpkin spice latte while you enjoy the autumnal delights of Halloween. The thing for that I had bought the cats off a TikTok shop that cost me like $12 got delivered.
Hmm.
It is a tunnel thing with a bed
Oh,
and it's cute. And I was like, $12. Okay. Because it was on sale and they gave me a coupon. And I was like, okay, what is happening? This is nifty. It was
that's
really
cool.
cute. Yeah. It's a leisure cat tunnel bed. And it's big, actually. It's bigger than I thought it was gonna be.
That's great.
Yeah, so welcome. Ugh. Sorry, just moving my legs.
Welcome back.
Ah! Oh, fuck, dude.
Welcome back. Sorry. No need to growl at people, Crystal.
But I want to. But it's fun.
Uh,
Mm. So this week
mm,
we read Hallowpeen, a Halloween sentient object romance by Holly Wilde.
that's wild.
Honestly, it was wild. So, this book also had a dedication to the monster fuckers who make every season spooky season, and to Casey. Hope you enjoy this sweet treat. We've read Holly Wilde before,
Yes,
and
or at least I know I have. I think
well,
we have.
we have. We've read Holly Wilde before. The book's wild every single time, every
Yeah,
time. And the amount of puns that are throughout these books is an
so
aggressive
much.
amount, but it's
So
okay.
aggressive.
But you know what? Welcome to another Halloween special. And this time, yes, we read Halloween. Now,
Because this is Halloween. Excuse me.
this book is split up into four parts. It is also very short because it is a novella. And we start out with Asha, and she is currently at a party, and they are reading ghost stories around a campfire, and they're at her friend Casey's house. Now, Asha doesn't typically like monster or horror movies, but there's something about demons that really, really, really fucking freak her out. And they're telling like demon stories at this fucking campfire, which honestly, I don't think I ever had like an experience of sitting around a campfire telling ghost stories ever. Maybe once when I went to Girl Scout camp when I was like really young, but I never really had the opportunity. Sometimes I get a
You've sat
little,
around a campfire with me, but we don't really tell
we didn't tell
ghost
ghost
stories
stories. I have sat around
because that
campfire.
wasn't like
The ghost
our
story,
priority. The
the
ghost story
ghost,
was my family,
the ghost story was the situation
was
we were
real
in.
life. Was real life. Let's be real.
Yeah, but that's okay. But if she was in
We
charge,
survived. We're
we
here today.
barely survived, but yes, we survived. But if she was in charge of story time, everyone would be sharing adventures of masked men who give out hand necklaces and call you princess. But instead, now they're telling these fucking demon stories. And all of a sudden, a girl shows up who has long black hair and she has a story to tell. And she says, it's not a ghost story. What she's about to say is true and happened. Her name is Claudia, this lady. but it happened to her friend Samantha. And Samantha was into some really, really weird shit. But Samantha had decided to really push the envelope at this point and was hunting for demonic ceremonies. As she's telling this story, she's fucking bawling her eyes out because obviously something bad happened.
This was fucking wild. I
Dude,
was like, what the
eventually,
fuck?
yeah, eventually Samantha came across a ritual that took her away from Claudia, and it was a ritual that involved having someone spell "I cup," and someone laughs about it, and Claudia does not find this funny at all. She is screaming and says that Samantha thought it was funny at first that this particular ritual makes the monsters of Hollows come and claim you. So she set up camp in the abandoned home by the mill. And now someone was like, "Oh, yeah, I heard about that. Like the girl went missing. Yeah, Samantha went up there and never came back. And no one knows what happened to her. No one except for the Hallowpeen." Of course, this makes people laugh and makes jokes about it. And Claudia flips her fucking shit and goes after this dude named Dean because he's trying to say it 3 times. You got to say ICUP.
What is this, Beetlejuice?
Yeah. I mean,
Dude,
well, that's
I
like,
had
well, that's like
a
the Bloody Mary thing. You
yeah,
got to say
but I
Bloody Mary three
had
times.
a six, no, seven, I think now. I had a newly 7-year-old during summer school, dead face, tell me that I cannot say Beetlejuice 3 times because like things bad shit's gonna happen. And she was like dead serious. And I was like, what if I say it right now? And
Oh
I
God.
can no.
No. That's
And I was
so
like,
funny.
girl, this is old.
So Claudia scratches the fuck out of this man and then runs towards the house. So Asha goes after her and finds her and lets her know like she's not really the best with big emotions, but she did bring her a beer and she just hangs out with Claudia. And Claudia says that she thought someone in this town would understand because this specific town has a lot of legends. Asha asks Claudia if she's ever even tried to summon him herself. And Claudia's like, why the fuck would I call upon a demon who took my best friend? First of all, I agree with Asha because Asha says to understand why the demon took your friend. Like, I don't know. But then Claudia gets even more unhinged and says, I have an idea. You could summon the demon and like you'll be fine. Like, well, like
None of this thought process made any sense to me. Like this girl was off her rocker.
she's like, listen, you go into the bathroom. I will stand outside the bathroom in case anybody comes and like I'll protect you. It'll be fine. And basically pushes Asha into doing this. So she does. And after she says, ICUP 3 times, nothing happens at all. And everything is like, she's like, what the fuck? Like, she's looking around the bathroom and nothing has come out. And so she goes, okay, well, this is probably just a giant prank. So she leaves the bathroom. But when she leaves the bathroom, it is eerily quiet. But everything still looks the same, but there is literally nobody anywhere. None of the music is playing. And so she goes searching around to see what the actual fuck. And she ends up seeing the candy dish at the front. So we'll get into that later. And the candy dish has this like, little monster hand that like reaches out when you like, have you ever seen those? Anyways.
Yeah.
And she goes, oh, cool. The candy dish, of course, the fucking candy dish is still working. And then she hears a voice say, that's not the only thing working tonight, boo. Really? And it's a giant monster jack-o'-lantern. Actually, 3 of them. And they are the jack-o'-lanterns. So when she was comforting Claudia, there was 3 like jack-o'-lanterns sitting on the steps. So this is the 3 of them. And she like takes in their look. She realizes that the biggest part of them is their cocks. And it is their engorged orange surfaces that has like a whipped topping. There's so much pumpkin puns throughout this entire book. She asks what this place is, and the 3 pumpkins look at her and ask her if she summoned them. And she's like, well, I mean, technically I did, but she had literally only learned about the ritual like a few moments beforehand. Pumpkin number 1 tells her she is either very brave or very naive to work with magic. And honestly, I think it is the latter
Yeah.
because why would you do that? Honestly, though, like she was kind of pushed into it. So it kind of, she kind of really didn't have a choice. But
I mean, she didn't have to sit there and chant it in the bathroom like a ding dong.
that is true. ICUP.
I wouldn't have done it because that sounds dumb. I'm
It
just
does.
saying.
It does. They mentioned that it's been a while since someone had come to their world, and
I would have been saying I am peeing or something.
right? And she mentioned Samantha, and they said, yeah, she put up quite a fight. I wonder if you'll be as feisty as she is. But they have nothing to do with Samantha. She came into the world through another portal and is now the responsibility. I'm sorry. The responsibility of the Hallowpeens in a different house. This book is insane. And but so now Samantha belongs to those Hallowpeens. And Asha belongs to these new pumpkin people because it doesn't matter where you live. What matters is you say the incant because she's like, dude, this isn't even my house. And they're like, it doesn't matter. Wherever you say the incantation, that is where you end
Why
up
do I have
living
to
in
live
this
here
other
now?
world, right? In this other world. And the only way to go back to the other world is to have the man candy be summoned. Not the candy man candy.
Can't. I know it's so ridiculous. The Candyman can.
Yeah. But the man candy has to be summoned, and that is actually a story that she knows about because everybody in Hollow Springs is taught this legend from a young age. Basically, at the stroke of midnight, if there is a single piece of candy left in the dish, man candy comes to give you a treat of his own. But the pumpkins reassure her that she is theirs, and they would never let him play with her, and that she is safe with them. And, well, as safe as she wants to be. But the only way she can go home again is if someone invites the
She can
man
click her heels
candy.
3 times and say, "There's no place like home."
Oh my God, no.
Excuse me.
Is if someone invites man candy back into her realm, but that has not happened in a very long time. And she knows that there's a very real possibility that this is never going to happen because everybody in Hollow Springs works together to make sure all the candy dishes are emptied by the end of the night. And she says, this is why you're called the Hallowpeens because you destroy everything inside and it leaves you a shell of yourself. And one of them says, just because my guts have been ripped out doesn't mean I can't rearrange yours. I thought that was funny. But she just says, listen, it's just hard to face the truth that I may never see the life I love back home. And they're going to exchange names, and then things are going to get really spicy because obviously these are horny as fuck. So we learned that there's Jax, Gordy, and Hal. And she wants to know if she just lives there for the rest of her life and how is that? Hal has a few things in mind of how they can get to know each other, but honestly, she's kind of thinking about getting plowed by them in a pumpkin patch. And she's thinking, am I really about to get seduced by jack-o'-lanterns from another dimension? Absolutely. So Hal is going to start touching her, and he slips a hand between her legs, and he starts to ease his fingers in and out of her. Jack says, listen, let's take her inside because they're doing this outside and show our new guest how we Peens do in Peen Town. Yeah. Why they call it Peen Town? I got no idea.
I'm going to take you to Peen Town.
Take you to Peen Town. Well, okay. Asha does make it clear she does not want to be put in her friend's bed because she thinks that that would be really weird. Okay, not the rest of this is weird, but okay, Asha,
Nope,
sure thing.
not even a little.
So they
Just
bring her to the living room and they set up this like cute and comfortable like nest of sorts. And they have like a blanket over a fuzzy rug by the fireplace. They have wine, berries, chocolates, rose petals. They were making it really amazing in there. And she's just thinking she never dreamed big enough. She's read all of these books, but she never dreamed big enough to envision that 3 guys could be claiming her in one night. Gordy interrupts her thoughts and says, you look like you want to be candy, Asha. Do you want us to devour you? And then she's got 6 hands on her and they all touch her. And then Jax eats her out. And then Hal joins in while Jax is eating her out. And they're also kind of like half making out as they're eating her out at the exact same time. And then Gordy starts playing with her nipples and then he fucks her throat. And then she eventually comes. But Jax decides he can't even handle this anymore and asks if she wants it. And she does. She wants them to make her theirs. She didn't even know she needed this. But now that they're here, the thought of being pleasured by pumpkins is all she can think about and all she's aching for. Fucking crazy, but okay. And she's aching for their Hallowpeen. And so Jax is going to fuck her. But of course, she sees Hal and she just feels like she can't be whole, just so whole without having Hal in there in this carnal triangle. So Hal comes over and kneels before her. And of course, like her throat is full of cock right now. So there's just she can do. But then he starts touching her and just so much is happening. And now then Hal starts to touch Jax's, I'm not going to call it what they call it, but he touches Jax's asshole and asks if he can take him. So basically, Jax is gonna fuck her while Hal fucks him. But before that, Gordy is gonna come down her throat. And it was an explosion of frothy sweetness with hints of nutmeg and cinnamon and also pumpkin seeds. Quite literally, pumpkin seeds.
Choke on
And
that.
she doesn't though, because the nope, not gonna continue.
No, yeah. Let's just.
Just know she doesn't need to choke on it. They all keep fucking until they come, but as they come, all of a sudden the house shakes and then everything fades to black. And then we get part two, and it's Casey. And she is trying to take in Claudia being fucking a crazy person because now she's saying, yo, she was there. So the Hallowpeen just took her. Like they took my friend 5 years ago. And Casey's just like not having a great time playing host right now. And she's telling them, like, everybody get the fuck out of my house. And please take the candy as you go, and thinks about the man candy story that she's heard over the years. All she knows is don't leave your candy in the bowl when the clock hits midnight or else. And she realizes after everyone's gone, there's still one piece of candy left in the candy holder. And it, like I said, it's one of those that like reaches with the hand, and she gets a little scared about it and she tries to get herself together and she chastises herself and says, fuck, like, fuck Casey. And then a voice comes over and says, fuck Casey, because that sounds like a treat to me. And surprise, surprise, it's man candy. It is literally a man made out of candy. And he asks her trick or treat. And then she goes, treat. And yeah, she caved in really fucking quickly. He ends up tying her to a bed with licorice and does some shibari, which was not where I thought that was going, but okay. And then um, yeah, then he uses a lollipop as a vibrator and he edges her a lot. And then when it like shrinks down really tiny, he fucks her with it. And then he also eats her out with his forked tongue. And afterwards, he lets her know that he only tied her up to fulfill her request of a treat and lets her know, like, you left candy, so I came to you. And she lets him know she didn't leave it. Someone else had left it. And he's actually very sad about this. And she let him know about all the stories. And he does seem very upset. And again, he's really sad. And he says he's going to leave. But she stops him and says, this isn't right. Please tell
She's
me
like, I
why.
didn't ask for you. And he's like, I did all this. Like,
Like,
what?
right?
He was
Like,
so excited that someone called him. And
and she goes, I didn't actually call you, but okay. She says, please tell me why people used to leave you candy as an offering, trying to get him to open up. And he tells her that he will tell her anything. He doesn't. She wants to know. But they make out, and while she's thinking if she wants to know everything, she also wants to know why if his cock is made out of candy. And then he fucks her. He uses a condom in a way. It's just kind of like a cellophane or whatever. They fuck. And yeah, his balls, by the way, are jawbreakers. So that's fun. And when he comes, it's like a to-go bag. It's crazy. And then she asks, it was disgusting. And then don't worry, because it gets even more gross. And then like she asks what happens and that she kind of wants him to stay there. He lets her know that he can do whatever she wants him to. She's the one who controls the world, and he's never
the whole
stayed.
wide world.
Yeah, she controls him basically. And but he's never stayed before because no one has invited him to stay. And like when her world found out about the existence of his kind, they, whatever, no one wants to go back and forth. So they kept getting stuck on the other side, all the sentients. And he became like a ferry of sorts to bring like people, like things back and forth. But people stopped performing the ritual to go to Hallowpeen, which is sad. He asks if she's complaining and she says, no, but I just want you to tell me, by the way, what do orgasms have to do with carrying people between worlds? And he says, do you think I do all this for free? Like, my payment is a trick or a treat. You get to decide what it's worth to come home. And she goes, but I am home and I didn't have to pay you. I just got a treat for no reason. And he asks, weren't you paying for the other two stuck on the other side? So, yeah, Samantha and Asha are on the other side. But of course, Casey finds it really hard to leave his arms because, surprise, surprise, Asha and
Well, they
Samantha,
were. Yeah.
yeah, Asha and Samantha are back on their side. What? Oh
She
my
paid
God.
for them with her orgasms.
Yep.
Yeah.
Uh,
Or
Asha,
his.
when Asha sees the man candy, she freaks out a little bit, duh. And they try to calm her down. And, Casey says, listen, like, it's not like that. And Man Candy says that if you ever want to go back to see them, I can arrange it. And that he needs payment. And Casey says that she is good for it. And then he puts his monster's cummy gummy into her mouth, which was the weirdest sentence. Yeah, and it's really weird. And then we get a final part, and it's Samantha's point of view, and they're going to be staying at Casey's house for the night. We learn that Samantha had honestly stopped trying to get back home since the Hallowpeens told her that the ferryman had stopped traveling between worlds. And Asha asks Samantha if she'll be going back. Samantha says, "Yeah, I think so." And they talk about how they don't really know how if they could readjust to human world because now they know what true passion feels like from the sentient objects fucking them within an inch of their life. And they ask if they really think that man candy is going to make Casey pay for all their trips back. And with that, they hear her orgasm rip through the air. And Samantha just says, I have a feeling she's stocking up on prepaid credits for us now. And that is the book.
It was
It was so crazy.
something.
It was, I just, yeah. So, oh, who was your favorite character?
Who to choose, really?
I'm gonna say Man Candy, okay? Because, you know, he he was sad, but he was kind of
He
a
was a sad fuck.
I felt bad for him. But he wasn't a sad
Yeah,
fuck, if that makes sense.
yeah. I mean, maybe Samantha, who
Okay.
just did her own thing and didn't like really purposefully contribute to anyone else's
Yeah.
thing. I don't know.
Yeah. How about your least favorite? I'm gonna say that douche at the party. Because why not?
But weirdly, the girl who came to the party, whatever her name was,
Claudia? Oh yeah.
Claudia,
Fuck that
I didn't,
bitch.
yeah, it was just weird.
You know what? Yeah, fuck that bitch. Because why would you do that? Why would
It
you
was,
make this
yeah,
person do the things?
yeah.
Lame. Ugh, hate that. So, Amazon gives us a 3.6, Goodreads a 3.3, and Storygraph a 3.26.
What about you?
I'm gonna give it like a 3.
I also give it a three.
It was a lot of puns. And I knew that,
Yeah,
honestly, I knew that going in though. Like, I knew that that was a real
yeah,
possibility just because, that is usually the nature of like books like this. I don't know why I was gonna say episodes like this. That was weird. I have found in a lot of like stuff like this, you get those shit tons of puns. There was just an aggressive amount of them.
yeah.
I think half the book was puns.
And yeah, it was a little much for me. And the three different points of view was a little much for me.
That didn't bother me that much.
Well, just because it just seemed to jump from, yeah.
I mean, it
And
was
I
split up
forgot that
well,
that's
but
what it was supposed to do.
oh, gotcha.
I tend to,
But at least it was split up, so it wasn't like all of a sudden it was
yes,
like it had the part
yeah,
whatever. So then it switched, so it wasn't actually that bad.
right.
Yeah, peppers, bro. I don't.
I don't know. What are you
There
thinking?
was so much stuff going on. You have
I'm gonna
candy.
say
You have
Serrano. It was all very quick.
yeah, that works for me. It was quick. There was also candy involved and pumpkins and a lot of things.
Yeah,
There was a train, kind of, sort of. Awesome. I'd survive just fine. I'd be great.
good.
Could not sleep with man candy. And you know what? I couldn't sleep with man candy because remember how we had this discussion with the peeps? I feel like sugar doesn't belong down there.
Yeah, seems like
I
a
know he wrapped
problem.
it, but still.
Mm, no, thank you.
No, thank you.
None for Gretchen Wieners.
None for Gretchen Wieners.
Yeah.
So we are slowly but surely getting through this month.
Hmm.
And we just have a couple books left. Well, this is our final bonus episode of the month, actually. This
Yep.
is it.
Yep. And for November bonuses, we're going to dive into some Thanksgiving style books. So we'll see you then.
Yes.
Make sure
Make
to keep
sh-
reading.
and keep it smutty. I don't know why it says hollow. Oh, except for the Hallowpeen. Just so you know, it says Hallowpeen. I just need you to know my notes say the responsibility of jalapenos in a different
Jalapenos, jalapenos.
just so you know, it says she can't be a hole. Wow, this my nose got dirty really quickly without me trying.